Hi there, Michael Eskin here with another ABC Transcription Tools demo. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set the default instrument programs for playback of your ABC files. Now, out of the box, the tool will just use a piano sound for both the melody and the chords. So if I were to play this version of Cooley's, so you see we get this piano sound. Now, if you don't specify the actual MIDI program in the ABC, that's what you're going to get. So I've added a feature that lets you set the default sound to use. You click on Settings, and now you can pick the default program to use for both the melody and for the bass and chord parts. And if you don't know what instruments to pick, you can click here and it'll bring up a little chart for you. So I'm going to set this to 21 for accordion for the melody and 21 for the bass and chord parts now. And if I play this, I should get accordion. And this is persistent, it gets saved to the browser, so if we completely reload the tool and play again, we should get the same sounds. Okay, I want to show you one special case here. So for the hammer dulcimer, which is number 15, it needs a very long release time so you can hear the notes ring. And so if you select the dulcimer for either the melody or the bass and chord parts, the delay for the release is set to 4 seconds. So now, if we go to this version of Cooley's here without the chords, we should get the dulcimer, and you'll hear the long ringing. This can be very useful for other instruments that have long delay times, like for example the koto and the orchestral harp. So let's say koto is 107. If we want to play the same tune with the koto, so 107, what we can do is just leave the bass and chord set to 15. If either of these are set to 15 for the dulcimer, it's going to set that delay time to 4 seconds. There's no way to separate the delays for the bass and chords from the melody. So this can be very handy on tunes where you just want to play solo but have a long ring time, but you don't have any bass or chords. So we've selected the koto for the melody, we've selected the dulcimer for the bass and chords, but we're going to play it without any chords, and you'll hear now that we get the long ringing time with the koto sound. Just for comparison, if I were to play that same koto sound and had, let's say, the accordion as the chord program, you'll hear it'll be cut off. And there may be cases where that's what you want, but you have the option to go either way. Also, if you do select the dulcimer instrument for either the melody or the bass and chords, I do put up a little dialogue here that just explains to you about the situation with the release times, just to remind you that when you select the dulcimer you get this long delay. One other feature that's available is if you hold down the Shift key and click play, it brings up this dialogue that lets you inject a MIDI program number on every tune. So for example, if I wanted to have the flute, which is 73 on every tune, click OK, and you can see now it's actually injected this program directive into every tune. And the same thing, if you hold down the Alt key and click play, you get the same thing for the chord program. So we'll just leave it at 34, and you'll see now it's added this chord prog to every tune in the collection. So that's how you can set the default instrument playback in the tool. Since most ABC files don't have MIDI program directives built into them, I think this will be very, very useful. One other note, the default melody and chord instruments only apply if there isn't already a MIDI program or MIDI chord prog in the ABC. Those will take precedence if present. So that's how you can set the default playback instruments in the tool. I think this will be extremely handy. So if you're like an accordion player, you can come in, just set both the melody and bass program to 21, and anytime you open up an ABC file, you'll get the accordion sound.